Hey there, toy people. I'm here with Brandi Pinsker, co-founder and CEO of Project Genius. I'm excited to get to know more about you, Brandi, and learn about your company. Thank you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How long has the company been around for?
We have been in business since 2009.
2009. And how did it all begin?
I started Project Genius in 2009 with an inventor out of Amsterdam who had a line of brain teasers that he wanted to get into the US. So that was Recent Toys International. I had just left my buying position at Calendar Club to get over to the manufacturing side of things. I was consulting a little bit at the time. But yeah, he wanted to set up shop here in the US. So I helped him do that, and I was his managing director for a few years. And then, I think as the company grew, as all companies do, we tended to get more real business problems, and he just wasn't up for that. He's an inventor at heart, and he hated it. At the time, we were having a problem with the line that we were distributing. We weren't getting along with the company that we were working with, and it was just hard. It was sort of emotionally hard. It was hard for me, sort of how do you balance everything at the same time point of view, and I think that he didn't like the headaches that came with that. And so he wanted out of it, but I wanted to keep doing it. I mean, I'd spent all this time nurturing this business and building it up and building up our customer base. And I wasn't really willing to just walk away from all of that, right?
Yeah.
And so I bought the company from him.
How were you so confident to invest such a large sum of money?
I don't know if it was so much confidence as it was stubbornness and just unwilling to give up the shelf space that we had curated and the customers that we had brought on board. I mean, I had spent the last 5 or 6 years really developing this line and this brand, and I just wasn't ready to give all of that up and start over.
So tell me about that transition from working for a company to now owning a company.
It actually was not a huge transition for me because he had been based in Amsterdam, and while he was the owner of the company, he was not very hands-on over here. He was very, I think, content to just let me run things the way I wanted to run things, which was nice, right? I mean, you can't have somebody at a distance try to micromanage what's going on over here in the US. And so I think that was a really nice thing for him to do, and it made the transition for me a lot easier. We had the cash piece of it to solve. I think it made me a little, I don't know, it's a little scarier, right? When it's all of your stuff on the line, and it's you're the one signing the personal guarantees on all of these loans and stuff. And that's probably a little scarier, but I also feel like I had more control over things. There were a few areas where I think we didn't agree on. For example, I think packaging is one of the most important things out there.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be able to jump off the shelves, and the shelves are really competitive these days.
Yeah.
And I think because he was not based in the US, he couldn't see that. And he couldn't see why it mattered to me so much and why aesthetics mattered so much.
There's this book I love, and it's a little outdated now, but it's called Why We Buy.
Yeah.
By Paco Underhill. But it was some quote where he was like, when people pick up your item on the shelf, the likelihood of them buying it increases by something crazy like 70%. I also agree, packaging is so important because if you can get it in their hands, whether it's because of a try me feature or because of a cool flocking material in your box, I think you increase the likelihood that they're going to leave with it if they're holding it.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, all you want to do is get them to the back of the box and have them, and I would say less than 30 seconds, understand how this thing works, right? They don't want to stand in a store trying to figure something out and read through it. So I think, the more you can do with images and call outs, obviously, you've got to get that gameplay across so fast. I mean, we're seeing that here this week too.
Have you ever, and I do this a lot, when I do market research, I go to stores, I see how people are acting around the product, and I also look at product. Do you ever go to stores and stay near your aisle and listen to what people are saying as they're looking at your product?
It's so funny that you mentioned that because it's one of my favorite things to do.
It really?
It is, yeah. I mean, we have a big section in Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
And I like to just go watch people shop.
Yes. The best is when they call someone while they're shopping, because then they verbalize everything they're thinking.
Yes.
They're like, yeah, there's this game here, and I'm looking at it, and I really think we should, but I'm not sure if it's for adults. Oh, it says it's for adults right here. Like,
Yeah.
it's the best.
You got to get close to your end consumer.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's one of the reasons that we do shows like this too. Is like,
Okay.
we don't get a lot of chances to interact with the end consumer and
Yeah.
see how they react
Right.
to different components of the game. What's hard? What can they not figure out? What is the back of the box not doing that we're doing in person? And then you can take that information
Oh, that's good.
and transfer it to your product the next time you do, on your next print run.
Yeah.
If I'm selling Chroma Cube to somebody and I've got one line that I see hooks them every time, well, whatever I'm saying needs to go on the back of the box because I'm not always going to be here with them.
That is so good.
yeah.
I don't want you to give away all your secrets, but can you tell me one thing that maybe you learned at this show or a show recently that you have changed and implemented on your packaging? Something you noticed by being in person?
Oh my God, there's so many. But
One thing. You don't have to give away all your
yeah,
secrets.
yeah,
you know,
no,
one secret.
You know what? Headspin is a new game for us. And we just launched it this year. And we've done, I think, a really great job of selling it in. But what I have noticed at this show is that the cards that we're using in here are not communicating as quickly as they need to. It's actually
So what about the cards? These cards?
these cards? Yeah, the
Okay.
cards.
Just want to put a visual. Okay,
Yeah.
the cards.
Yeah, I think that they're just not as intuitive as I need them to be. Like, I'm explaining it once, and I sort of see this like,
Really?
and it's like, okay, you didn't get that, and I'll maybe change the way I'm explaining
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But it doesn't matter because when I explained it the first time, they didn't get it.
And now they're
so-
like,
yeah.
confidence is cut. They're not interested. Like, this is making me feel dumb. I don't want to.
Exactly.
Right.
And you never want to make anybody feel dumb.
No.
And I make brain teasers, right? And I think what makes a good brain teaser is to make people feel smart.
Really?
And-
Oh,
yeah.
hold on. Okay. So, I didn't specify this, but Project Genius does focus on brain teasers. But you think the best brain teaser makes people feel smart?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Why?
Because they need some confidence. Like Chroma Cube, for example, this is one of our best sellers. It's
Yeah.
a logic puzzle. And we start with a really easy puzzle that I think anybody can solve. And
Okay.
anybody can solve it, by the way. But what you tend to get are, especially adults, will go, I'm not good at brain teasers.
Yeah.
And they won't even touch it.
Yeah. Because you don't want to feel dumb.
They don't want to solve
Yeah,
problems, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But if you can show them that they can do this first puzzle, all of a sudden they feel really smart, they're interested in the second puzzle, and they keep going. And what I've learned from doing trade shows is that everyone is better at brain teasers than they give themselves credit for.
Interesting.
Adults have just like somewhere along the way, they've made this decision that either they're good at brain teasers or they're not. And if they're in that not category, they just won't go near them. They won't even try. But kids are amazing. Like, they don't think they're stupid. They're not afraid. They don't spend any time doing this. It's like, want to play a game? And they
Yeah.
just go, sure.
Okay.
And they take it. And they
Yeah.
get started, and they're really good.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So, do you have products for adults versus kids?
We don't really separate it into adults versus kids. Unlike other game categories, brain teasers, one of the benefits of this category actually is that it really spans the ages. If you think about something like a Rubik's Cube, how would you age grade a Rubik's Cube? Is it for
No.
kids or adults?
Yeah, it's for everyone.
Because, it's neither, right?
So, what I'm imagining is this. When you're at a trade show, you have this product, for example, it can encourage an adult to give it a try.
Yeah.
But like you said, the kid's gonna be more open. Do you have lines that are designed to, in store, encourage an adult to give it a try?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We do, yeah. We have another line that I didn't bring today, but it's
Yeah.
called True Genius. It's
True
our
Genius.
Barnes & Noble line.
Okay.
And they're more like the classic wood puzzles that might sit on your desk or on a bookshelf, a little
okay.
like more of an old world look to them.
Right. It's like, just
And
put
those-
this in your office for decoration.
Yeah,
right?
they're nice.
And then when you get bored, you can just do a brain teaser.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we all do when we're bored, right?
Yeah,
Brain teasers. So yeah, those are like aesthetically, I think, a little more intended for adults.
Okay.
Yeah, we do like the secret boxes where you can put cash into a box and they've got to solve it to get their present.
Okay, so tell me about some of the stuff you brought here today. What do you have that we could play with?
I brought a hypno. This is actually not even a brain teaser. This is one of
Okay.
our first fidget toys that we made. I'll let
okay.
you play with this, but it just continues to loop on itself.
It just continues to loop on it.
Other way.
Did I break it?
You didn't break it.
Okay.
Flip it the other direction. There you go. And it just keeps going.
Interesting. So do you work with inventors a lot?
We do. As a matter of fact, we worked with an inventor on this. And his name is Oscar Van Deventer. Isn't that a great name for
Oscar Van Deventer?
He's an inventor.
So actually, this would be a really good time to give advice. For inventors that are watching, what kind of product does Project Genius like to work with inventors on?
I think we're really willing to look at anything that falls into this category. If it can be even a game, a multiplayer game, but as long as we can somehow tie it back to a brain teaser so that it stays within our family, within our brand,
Okay.
it's something that we would look at.
How would you define a brain teaser?
Anything that requires you to think. Anything that requires a little bit of logic, a little bit of, it could be a visual, spatial reasoning, logic. It's, something that makes you think. You would never see us doing like fart games or anything too silly.
That's good to know. What is this one we've got here?
This is a gear ball, and this sort of works like a Rubik's Cube. It's in its solved state right now.
Okay.
So we've got a solid color on every side, but as I mess it up, you can see that it runs on gears.
Oh my gosh.
Now don't do what I just said all adults do. Give this a try.
Oh my gosh.
Now,
So is this one from an inventor?
it is. So this is a distributed line for us. So the company that I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, Recent Toys, they have the worldwide rights for this. And then we're their U.S. distributor.
Oh, so he flipped it back to an invention studio.
Yes.
Oh, this is real.
It feels great, doesn't it? We really love things that are like fidgety. Like what I like about Gear Ball is that even if you can't solve it, it's really fun to fidget with and play with. So there's like not a whole lot of pressure to solve it until you're ready.
So how do you find inventors, or how do inventors find you?
We do a few shows, like we did Mary's show a couple of weeks ago. We haven't worked with a ton of inventors in the past. It's fairly new for us.
Oh, okay.
We've developed some stuff internally, and we still do.
How many designers do you have working with you internally?
We are the design team. I'm part of the design. Great ideas come from everywhere. If our bookkeeper came to me and had an idea, we would explore it.
Do you work with any of your family on this company?
I do. My sister runs the company with me. We didn't know this about ourselves before we started a company together, but we complement each other so well.
How so?
She is so structured and so organized, and she can execute on something like nobody I've ever met in my life.
Really?
Like, she is just a dream in operations, but she doesn't like traveling. She doesn't like sales, marketing, any of that kind of stuff. But I love all that stuff.
Oh, that's amazing.
And so, we complement each other really well.
We're going to try a different one.
Here, you're going to look good today because you're going to solve a brain teaser on
or
your podcast.
not.
When we first made this puzzle, we didn't include these labels, and then we realized that a lot of people are colorblind, and so we had to throw these in. But this is one of our most popular products. And it's a physical logic puzzle. A lot of parents really love getting their kids off screen.
Okay.
And they love the tactile nature of this. All right, so to start out with, we're going to set this board up to look like what you see there, right? All right, and then read these clues to figure out where the rest of those colors go.
Oh, coral and magenta are in the same column.
And your columns are going to go up and down. So we're in one column that is open for two spaces, right?
So this guy. Oh,
yep.
This column here. Okay. Coral and magenta. Black sits next to magenta. Oh, no. Here it is.
You got it.
Okay. Coral sit next to white.
So that checks out, right?
Yeah, we're good. Either teal or black sits next to cobalt. Oh, okay, all right.
And then you've got one space and one here.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see how she did.
I'm a genius.
Doesn't that feel good?
That does.
Don't you want to do another one now?
Yes, I do.
Would you have ever told me before that you're good at brain teasers?
No.
Right?
But this feels like a trap.
It is a little bit of a trap. It's true, yeah. So then, it gets harder as you go on. Like when you get to puzzle number...
This is like Sudoku with colors.
Yeah. So like when you get to puzzle number 8, there are no starter cubes. It gets pretty
that's
hard.
Cool. So where did this passion for brain teasers come from?
You know what I love about this category? In terms of like doing shows like this, like the kids that we get playing in our booth, they're so smart.
Yeah.
And I love seeing them get it.
Yeah.
And I love seeing it in adults too. It's really fun. Yeah, I feel like we're putting out a product that's good for kids.
Okay, final questions for you.
All right.
What toy blew your mind as a kid?
I did love board games as a kid. I loved Monopoly and
You
stuff
did?
like that. Yeah, we play a lot of games in my house. I've got a son with autism, and if you don't know anything about autism, one of the things that typically comes with it is a lot of anxiety. And so, like, I think it's really magic how much a board game can calm him down because it makes him think. And so, and he's competitive. And so, like, he'll sort of get into these grooves every now and then where he's pacing and stimming. Like, we cannot calm him down, like not with medicine, not with any sort of therapy that we've ever learned. But if we make him sit down and play Bananagrams with us, in a minute, he's transformed. It's magic. I know, so thank you, Bananagrams. If you're watching, it is amazing how much it changes his mood to like lock into something that makes him think.
What about brain teasers? Does it have the same effect?
He does like logic puzzles.
Okay.
He doesn't play Chroma Cube because he wouldn't understand it, but he plays like simpler logic puzzles.
Okay.
So, but what I like about logic puzzles for kids on the spectrum is that they often have trouble with reading comprehension.
Yeah.
And so, as you see on these cards, like there's a little bit of reading. There's like one sentence
right.
and then an action.
And then an action.
And then one sentence and then an action. So you're not asking them to digest an entire paragraph.
Right.
And answer a question. It's very simple. It's very black and white, and there's no nuance to it.
Is there a future for Project Genius to develop more autism-focused products?
Definitely. One of the things that we're really focused on is employment for adults with autism.
Oh.
My son turned 18 this year, and when these kids leave high school, that's it. There are no opportunities for them, for the most part. Some kids can go to college, and I'm sure that, that's different. But when I look at what's going to happen to my son after high school, it's like the door's shut, and that is it. There's just this cliff after high school for these kids. And so we really have to find ways to come in and solve this employment issue for them. And so we've started a word program for kids on the spectrum who are working in our warehouse right now, but I'd love to find more ways to rope them into maybe product development, maybe graphic design, maybe I think the more I can use Project Genius to solve problems in the autism world, that's really where our future is over the next few years.
So, okay, final bit of advice. I know in my programs and people that listen to this podcast, I get a lot of people that are industrial designers. So they have the skills to develop new brain teasers, but they may have never thought about it before. So what advice would you have to get them in the mindset or inspire them to maybe look at inventing something for this category?
I would say, this is probably part of your advice anyway, but do your homework first. Go see what's on the shelf.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Yeah.
And see, I think before you pitch companies, see what types of products they sell.
Any final words of wisdom for someone who might want to step into a CEO role at a toy company like you did?
I wish that I had taken more management classes.
Really?
Yeah, I wish I had figured out the people part of it. I've spent so much of my early career on the product side of things in sales and just sort of the hard skills and nuts and bolts of running a business.
Yes.
And the people part is so hard to figure out. Right now, we have a great staff.
Yeah.
And I'm just sort of lucky that I have who I have right now. But I think if I get somebody who needs a lot of coaching and a lot of management and a lot of my time, I'm not good at that stuff.
I've learned with the people management part is you have to show that you care. You can't just assume that they know that you're a good person because you're so busy. You're like I get on phone calls and I'm like, yeah, did you do this thing? Okay, bye.
Great.
Right? And then I realize after a month of that, that's probably not the best environment.
It's
people
not.
need you to say, how are you doing?
Yes.
What's going on? How can I help further your education through the work you're doing with me, right?
Right, and that took a long time to learn.
Yeah.
I even had the other day, my bookkeeper, who's kind of new with us, she started last February. I was in my office with our sales manager, who I've worked with for a long time, and she knows me very well. But the bookkeeper came in and she was like, I can't tell the tone of your emails sometimes if you're being sarcastic or you're mad at me. And I was like, no, I'm just trying to get stuff done.
Exactly.
And my sales manager goes, oh no, she means exactly what she says. Brandi has no layers.
There's no layers. That should be your signature. Your
totally
name,
should.
with regards, Brandi, no layers.
No layers. I mean exactly what I said.
No layers. That's funny. Well, it was a pleasure having you
So
on the
nice to
show.
finally meet you.
Where can people purchase Project Genius products?
So a lot of our product in the Barnes & Noble. They're
Okay.
probably one of our biggest retailers. But we also sell to specialty stores, online.
And what's your website address?
Project Genius Inc.
ProjectGeniusInc.com.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you for coming on the show today.
So nice to finally meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Take care.